From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 21st, 2017. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met today in Jerusalem with visiting U.S. Secretary of Defense James Mattis. The two spoke to the press, where Netanyahu praised the relations between the two countries.
Israel has no better friend than America. America has no better friend than Israel. And this is a partnership based on common values in the deepest sense of the word.
Netanyahu also welcomed the U.S. administration's strong stance on Iran and other areas of foreign policy. The American defense leader met earlier today with his Israeli counterpart, Avigdor Lieberman, the third meeting between the two defense chiefs, who addressed the press in Tel Aviv today.
I'm honored to return to Israel once again to show my respect for this country and for the Israeli people. I am keenly aware that we stand together this morning, just a week before the Holocaust Remembrance Day, and we share a common determination to never allow such horrific events to recur.
Lieberman also joined Mattis in his meeting later today with Israeli President Reuven Rivlin, who said it was a great honor to welcome Mattis, and Rivlin thanked the U.S. administration, both past and present, for their support for Israel and the recent signing of the historic defense deal between the U.S. and Israel. 3 mortar shells from Syria landed in northern Israel this afternoon. The IDF said the rockets landed in an open area in the Golan Heights. The incident was thought to be another case of spillover from the Syrian civil war. No damage or injury was reported, and the IDF was investigating. U.S. Special Envoy Jason Greenblatt hosted a video conference with Israeli and Palestinian leaders from the private sector to talk about how to improve the lives of the Palestinian people. The U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv said yesterday's video discussion was a follow-up to recent U.S. consultations with Israeli and Palestinian business representatives and officials, and that it focused on concrete private sector initiatives which would create new opportunities for growth and meaningfully improve the Palestinian economy and the quality of life for Palestinians, thereby helping to foster an atmosphere more conducive to peace. Well, Texas has become the 18th state in the U.S. to pass bipartisan legislation targeting companies that participate in the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement that seeks to delegitimize the state of Israel. The Lone Star State unanimously passed House Bill 89 yesterday, which prohibits state investment in companies that engage in a political boycott of Israel. Pro-Israel education and advocacy organization Stand With Us worked with the Texas legislators about the impact of BDS on both Israel and the Palestinians, and welcomed the passage. B'nai B'rith International President Gary Saltzman and CEO Daniel Mariachin said, "We are grateful for the overwhelming support for this measure in the Texas legislature. It remains vitally important," they said, "for government figures and legislative bodies to join the growing number of people who recognize the abject injustice of the BDS movement." Jewish newspaper publisher Ruth Sulzberger Holmberg has died. Holmberg served as publisher of the Chattanooga Times in Tennessee for nearly 3 decades, where she pushed for civil rights issues like racial equality. Her grandfather was an early publisher of the New York Times, and her family has been at the helm of the paper for decades. She worked as a reporter for the Times and later served on its board. Holmberg was also the second woman to be elected a director of the Associated Press. She died on Wednesday at her home in Tennessee at the age of 96. 2 major Israeli authors are being considered for the prestigious Man Booker Prize in Literature. Amos Oz and David Grossman are among 6 writers who made the short list yesterday for the International Prize, which celebrates the finest works of fiction translated into English from around the world that are published in Great Britain, awarding the author as well as the translator. Grossman was named for his latest work, A Horse Walks Into a Bar, and Amos Oz for his book, Judas. The other contenders are from France, Norway, Argentina, and Denmark. The winner of the prize will be announced on June the 14th in London. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, April the 21st. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by a concert at 7:30. At 8, Rabbi and author Harold Kushner speaks at the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the premiere on JBS of the new feature film Leah and Daria, the true story of two young dancers who become a sensation in pre-war Croatia, whose lives are turned upside down by the invasion of Nazi Germany. And remember to check all of our special programming commemorating Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, here on JBS, which begins on Sunday. Throughout the week, JBS will feature programming related to the Holocaust, including a special edition of L'Chaim on Sunday with Elie Wiesel of blessed memory. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin looks at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, April the 21st, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.